Well, hello and welcome to my channel. This is Portia Angel. If you are newly joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for those who are returning, welcome back. I want to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I appreciate the new subscribers who have joined the community. I will not be before you long. I just wanted to come and give a quick word of encouragement and enlightenment if you are dealing with inconveniences and setbacks. And the reason why I feel so prompted to share is because this is something that I have been learning in my own life. And I love the statement, each one teach one. And so in the attitude of that, I just want to shed some light on the situation if you are finding yourself in the position of feeling stuck or set back or inconvenienced in one way, or another. So I want to offer you the opportunity to stop, woosah, and pause and count your blessings. I know that that can sound very cliche, and to be quite frank, really annoying, because it's like, no, I don't want to hear what the blessing is when my car got ran over. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are we talking about here? Trust me, I get it. I totally understand what you mean. But I will also say that with that, a lot of times, there are always things to gather. There are always things to learn. There are sometimes blessings in disguise that you would have never seen coming. So, for instance, moment of transparency. I have been meditating, churning, praying, hoping, wishing for a change in work for my husband. And a lot of times we don't understand what that change looks like. Because sometimes there are those of us who can see the writing on the wall and make a jump to do what needs to be done. And sometimes that jump could be a little sooner than it needs to be. And then there are others of us at other times where we have to be forced, literally forced to make a change, forced to stop and slow down, forced to rest. So I like to look at myself as the fast person in the fast lane, driving 100 miles an hour a lot of times, and my husband is not. Like, I could be the Tesla on the road and he could be the tortoise in the mud somewhere. Like, so in terms of my wishing and wanting some new things to transpire, my husband came home sick with COVID. How about that? And I know if this has happened to some of you, or if this would happen to some of you, you probably are thinking, there's nothing to laugh about. Because not only are you sick, and we don't know what this is going to do to you, you can't work. And then if I'm working, I have to report that I've been in close proximity with someone who has contracted COVID. So initially, I'm saying all this to say, using myself as an example, initially it will seem like, what the like, are you kidding me, God? Like, right now, this totally sets everything back. Neither one of us can work now because we're quarantining. And I don't understand what exactly is happening. Where is the bag? It didn't make any sense with our home goals, our financial goals, our business goals, all that stuff. So long story short, sometimes those crash and burns and setbacks and inconveniences, no matter how big or small they are. I mean, my situation can seem like a big situation for a lot of people. And it also could be something as simple as being rerouted, detoured on the road on your way to work. You may even be late, running late, and like, oh, I wish I could just get there. And for some reason or another, you're delayed getting there. And you just never know what the blessings are as far as protection is concerned. You could be diverting yourself from an accident. Like, you just don't know what the case may be, how your angels are constantly at work on your behalf. So I just learned, even if I don't understand or know certain things, especially in that type of scenario, it's like, well, you know what? You could have been sparing me, God, from something that I didn't need to get to. And sometimes you will see it, because I've been running late trying to get out the house and someone has slowed me down and I'm mad at that person, only to be on my way and see a car wreck that just happened that I could have very well been a part of had I gotten there sooner on time. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, to go back to what I was saying, sometimes those crash and burns, they can provide awakenings. And we all know, if you're on this channel, I'm pretty sure you at some point have had some sort of awakening. They are oftentimes rude, okay? Rude awakenings. And that can come by way of some sort of seemingly traumatic or painful experience, jolting situation. And that is what I will say my husband experienced throughout this entire last several weeks. It was a wake-up call that he might not have otherwise gotten in terms of everything holistically in life. And so because of us being at home together, we were forced to slow down and start to strategize other ways to bring about that change in income that he wasn't exactly aware of, awake to, or even open to, or just moving too fast doing other stuff to actually see, no, this is an opportunity to transition. So sometimes when you're forced to slow down and stop things, that's oftentimes God saying, okay, it's time to transition. You didn't do it sooner than now. So when everything breaks down, I mean, in our situation, the car broke down. That was used as a work vehicle to do some other stuff. That's not happening, and it was other things too. And it was like everything is breaking down. So when things break down in your life and just stop, that's when it's time to say, okay, Holy Spirit, what are you wanting to shift and move in my life? And then just going with the flow is supremely important, because when you decide to resist the inconveniences and the changes, like you bring on more negativity and circumstances in that energetic frequency that you're not going to want. So the more that you roll with the punches, recognize what the opportunities are, and just kind of allow it, then things begin to flow. All of that to say, my husband is now enrolled in school to qualify him for another career. It was like, wow, this is actually what I wanted to happen. He didn't have the time to study before. He does now. This is definitely what I wanted. It didn't happen the way I would have wanted. And for me personally, just the amount of rest that I've needed to have, in my current field of work. I've been working 6 days a week in 10 to 12-hour days, and then sometimes longer than that. So it has been a non-stop cycle for me, and spirit obviously was like, you could use some downtime. Yeah, so I just want to encourage you all, if you're experiencing stuff that's a little unpleasant, stop and take inventory of, obviously you're already, involuntarily looking at the negatives, but really challenge yourself to look at the positives, because there are always positives that you can gather from any situation. And even more than that, if you have a connection to the divine and you've been praying for certain things in your life, just remember, we don't often have domain over the how things transpire. But when change shows up and those prayers are being answered, just not in the way that you thought, give gratitude. Cuss, cry, scream, whatever you need to do in your, meditative prayer space with God and your angels, and let them know, hey, I would have done this differently, but thank you anyway. And allow yourself to walk in those unsuspecting surprises of a blessing. So I hope this video helps. If it has, drop a comment below, share the video if you feel it could be beneficial to someone else. And hopefully I'll be doing a little bit more of these. I'm not just going to limit myself. I feel spirit leading me to kind of expand beyond the realms of just my spiritual readings for the month. So if you'd like to see more of this content, let me know. Anywho, hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Peace and love. Bye.